morning, rubber booters. This is VE3MPC for the Rubber Boot Net on the Thursday, the 25th of January, 2018. Temperature here is minus 40 degrees centigrade, and it looks pretty okay outside apart from that. Anyone for the Rubber Boot Net, please come now.
3KLT.
3RUU.
VE3KAE.
VE3MPO. Well, I have a VE3KLT, Terry, VE3RUT, VE3BAE, Alan, KAE, Alan, and VE3MPO. Now, there may have been a VE3RUU right at the beginning, stopped on by Terry.
VE3UUH.
Yeah, right. UUH, not RUU. Okay, anyone else for the Rubber Boot Net? Well, it's a cool morning this morning, and I may say I haven't got around to looking up GZ LEK Bob. VE3UUH.
It's about minus 14 or 15 here at the moment. There's not much of a breeze or anything. I went outside to the birds, and it wasn't horrible outside. It's cool, that's for sure. But it wasn't totally horrible. And it is January after all, and it is winter, so everything's relative. Now we're all going to die when it's minus 6 out from frostbite. Yet 3 weeks ago it was minus 28 and 30 out. We would have thought these temperatures were a heat wave, would have been breaking out the shorts and stuff. Anyway, I think we're going to see sun from the looks of it. I see on the top of the big tree, I'm looking out the window here in the radio room at a really tall maple or oak tree, one of the two. And the top part of it's got sun on it, so it's kind of coming over the yard arm. I don't think the overall temperature today is a heat wave by any stretch. And thank Norm for the email he sent me. It's an interesting reading there. And solar flux numbers for those playing on HF today is 70, 12, and 1. Not exactly stellar, but even yesterday I still managed to talk to people. And it was just about the same. It was about the same yesterday. And I still managed to talk to stations in Europe with just 100 watts. Anyway, we'll let you carry on, VE3UUH.
Yeah, I noticed yesterday the radio reception suddenly cleared up around about this time in the morning. It started off pretty bad, and then it suddenly cleared up later. I guess the powers that be decided we could play. VE3KLT, Terry.
Good morning. Give me my one and only time in. Just got up for a drink of water, headed back to bed with a doozy of a head cold. And Steve, I won't see you for coffee tomorrow morning. Don't want to pass it on, but it does look pretty cool out. With that, back to net.
It certainly sounded as if you should go back to bed anyway. And that's what I was doing. Half of yesterday, as a matter of fact, got so bad I said, I'm not going to do anything other than get my head down. At 6 hours later, I woke up, and of course, then I couldn't sleep at night. But we all do this. VE3RUU.
Good morning, Mike, and everyone on the net this morning. And before we get into the forecast, just a quick note that in that vote that they took at it on the Knights of the Round Table, the conclusion was the Knights of the Round Table live on and will stay at the Round Table. So anyway, as Bob mentioned, we are going to have sunshine, and right now we're at minus 17 with a wind chill factor of minus 26, which is the reason why my building is booming. And we're going to climb to minus 10 under sunny skies this afternoon. This evening we fall down under cloudy skies to minus 13, and then overnight down to minus 17. However, we have sunshine for Friday and minus 5, which would seem balmy. Saturday we're looking at cloudy with a few showers. All the yucky stuff has been taken out, and it's going to be plus 5. Outlook for Sunday we have wall-to-wall sunshine and 3. Outlook for Monday we have some scattered flurries, less than a centimeter, and we're looking at minus 5. Outlook for Tuesday, we're looking at, again, mostly sunny and minus 10. And Wednesday, we're looking at some flurries and minus 3. So no major accumulation and temperatures improving. Back to you, Mike.
Well, except, of course, that there'll be the final degree of polish will be put on the driveway by the rather cold weather. I anticipate I'm going to have problems getting up it. And when you say that the Knights of the Round Table took a vote to keep the round table there, you're not talking about the actual round table, are you? It's just the location. Over?
That was the location. They had decided, they had thought of moving it, but the majority voted that they wanted to stay at the same location. So that location that we're staying at has a round table. So as I said, the round table continues back here.
Well, I asked this because I don't know if you know the road to Calabogie. If you go along 17 and turn left at Glasgow Station, you will be on the way to Calabogie. Now you cross the other road at Burnstown, keep going, and the next intersection is one which has a gas station there. And that gas station used to have the biggest round table I have ever seen. It was a picnic table, but it must have been 3 to 4 times the diameter of a normal round table. It was enormous. You could put 15 or 20 motorcyclists around it. Well, not with the motorbike, but it was sitting by itself on a little hill. But I noticed last year it disappeared, so I guess they had to chop it up from firewood. It was a very nice table, but it would be just tickets to move, of course. You'd have to have an outside balloon symbol on your truck. VE3KAE.
Morning, Mike, and all on net this morning. Just here enjoying my coffee. I guess it's minus 17 here, typical for January. And I'm heading for my basement shortly to finish putting things back after the furnace installers were in. You know, it's interesting, a lovely existing flue system here, but they can't use it with these new furnaces. They have to put a plastic pipe flue in, and I live in a townhouse, so they have to run it towards the back. So my furnace towards the front, and I had to move shelving and other sorts of things for them to run the flue pipe and get it out the back of the house. So I have to go finish putting things back and rearranging. So it kind of dictates my day today. Very little radio stuff, likely. VA3TJP, VE3KAE. Back to you, Mike, in the net.
Well, I gather this is a propane, natural gas, rather, a methane furnace, and so it's going to be what they call a high efficiency gas furnace. Well, I do wish that we had natural gas here. We are at least a mile and a quarter from the closest gas main, and you know, there are probably 40 or 50 houses in this vicinity, and they would love to be connected to the gas line. We pay to the nose for oil, and we paid a super tax on top of it. And, well, of course, I had to put a new furnace in because the old one died. I tell you, it's an interesting tale. The reason it died was because a bird got into the chimney, and somehow in the summer was flying around trying to get out, and it got into the combustion chamber. Now, the combustion chamber is a ceramic pot, which is incredibly expensive, and it just shattered it by pecking away at it. And the serviceman came along looking after the furnace, and he said, "You can't use this furnace anymore. It's totally demolished. You've had an animal or a bird in." "Oh," I said, "oh dear." Well, it's quite old. It's about 25 years old. So he said, "Well, I can replace it with an identical one, but you'll probably have to change the flue eventually." Now, it's rather silly. This furnace is supposedly designed with a 5-inch flue hole, and that keeps the velocity of the exhaust gases in the chimney at the right temperature and so on. However, the powers that be say, "Oh no, it's got to be a 6-inch pipe now." Well, of course, that involves a lot of work, as you can imagine. Well, I sympathize with your new furnace, but at least it'll be quiet and it'll be efficient. Make sure that you clean the ice out from the discharge pipe. VE3 VE3MPO.
VE3MPO. Well, good morning, all. I guess, I had a little thing done on my furnace there last year. Actually, last year in the late summer, and I had my exhaust pipe going on out one side of the house, and some new owners were buying the house. In any case, I had the pipe changed onto the other side, and just moving that pipe on the other side there cost $800 plus tax. So I kind of, that was a little steep there. Anyhow, they had to drill a hole in the cement wall, and that's it. But I found that expensive. Actually, I had two estimates, and that both of them were about the same price. So. In any case, gee whiz, I tell you, service charges nowadays are expensive. I guess, needless to say, cost of living is going up. Anyhow, had a great time last night, went curling, did some beautiful shots, and one of my co-players, I guess, he did some nice shots too there, put a shot on the button, and anyhow, had a great time, that's it. Other than that, nothing to report. My driveway's a little slippery, so I guess I'll go and put a bit of salt there a little later. Back to you, Mike, VE3MPO.
LC.
I have VCLC. Well, good morning to you, Norman. And Roger, yeah, that reminds me, when we lived in Ottawa, the people who owned the house before we did had put an extra addition. They added a basement room, and they added 2 bedrooms on the top and also a balcony at the back of the house. Now, the reason they did this, which is fantastically expensive, of course, is because the road was going to disappear under the Queensway. We lived behind the Royal Ottawa Hospital, and so the road had to be dug out. So the city actually paid for all the changes. They did a pretty good job. But anyway, they had to divert the water pipe. Now, to do that, they had to cut some of the water pipe. And in one case, they unfortunately left the water pipe, rather than cutting it up properly and taking it right out of the pipe, they left one water pipe which was resting upon another water pipe. If you can imagine anything that's stupid, because every little vibration causes these 2 sharp edges to vibrate, and eventually the working water pipe at the bottom will leak, and it will leak quite spectacularly, I would say. Well, we had quite a flood, and this all happened because this guy didn't bother to take out the old pipe. The VCLC. Why do contractors always do this?
Why what?
Why do subcontractors always never finish the job?
I still didn't quite get it. There's something about subcontractors. But what about subcontractors?
Oh, well, it's a question. We had to have or at least our house had to have a re-plumbing because there was a major addition to the house. Have you got that, Norman?
Yeah.
Okay. It involved cutting out an old water pipe, which was copper at the time, and the little piece of copper which is in between the floor foundation. They left it in. The edge of the pipe was resting upon the new water pipe. Have you got that?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, 2 such mismatched or very overmatched places, because of the vibration of the traffic and the house and the floor above and so on, eventually the lower pipe wore out, and this was the active water pipe, and that caused one heck of a flood. This happened because the subcontractors didn't want to bother to take out the pipe. Over.
Well, yeah. So who did you sue?
Well, I mean that was 20 years old adaptation. It took 20 years for it to go. So no, I didn't do anything. In point of fact, I took the pipe out myself. I just cut it up on the spot, and then I had to repair the second pipe. Well, I can solder with the rest of it. That was copper pipe at the time.
Yeah, well, these things happen, of course, and I don't know. I try to keep as many contractors away from my premises as possible. Now, that's not easy in this day and age, I suppose, with some of the things. But I'm a do-it-yourselfer. They all want an arm and a leg, of course. They have to live. Everything costs so much money that everybody has to charge a lot of money. And, of course, guys like you and me and everybody probably checking in here are just poor pensioners. We're always trying to get as much for as little as money as possible. Anyway, on a slightly different subject, I planted yesterday the 147.585 megahertz hidden transmitter, 15 milliwatts, and so I know some people are out there looking for it. The idea will be to report into me by email where you think it is, but I'm looking for a location within at least 500 meters of it, so nobody's come close yet. 2 people have actually reported in, which is encouraging. I'm glad the exercise is being taken up here. Anyway, it's on the air, and somewhere in Ottawa, and you should be able to hear this if you tune in on 147.585. But I doubt whether you'll hear it up where you are there, Mike. So it'll be on the air till next Wednesday, and then we'll take it off. Well, it'll probably go all Wednesday, and then we'll take it off the air, and that will be it. So just a little exercise to do at one's leisure. I mean, it'll be over a number of days here, so while you're casually driving in the area, you might spend some time trying to find it. Just timed out my portable radio here. VA3 TJP in the group VE3LC.
Well, it's quite a brusque warning, isn't it? You think it could be a soft, gentle, possibly Japanese or Chinese voice saying, "Please, honorable sir, just switch your radio off for a moment." Oh, this 147.585, I presume that it's hidden away in a garbage can or something like that, but it has a power supply. So one might be able to find it by looking for garbage cans with power cords coming out of it. But that's a useful piece of expertise to have, because it doesn't happen so much these days, but we used to get a lot of deliberate interference from other transmitters, saying, "Well, why don't you guys come off the air?" and so on. Well, we identify and we put gaps and so on. So you need a team of people to chase these guys. Of course, you have to catch them at the opportune moment. Anyone else out there for the Rubber Boot Net? Oh dear, I think I've outstayed my welcome. Even the automatic beat boppers radios tell me to stop. Okay, let's go back to the beginning again. VECU-UH.
Yeah, I was just chasing around the station on HF. I see that Kosovo is now, even though I don't know if in the United Nations it's a bona fide country, but it's been added to the list of things, call signs to work. So that'll bump up my needing to 2. So the guy's taking a 15-minute break. My voice could use a 15-minute break. Yeah, everybody and their grandmother in Europe's calling them. Yeah, a few North American stations getting through. But anyway, I'll get it at one point or another. It's not that far away, really. I don't know what else they added to the list. Have a look at the revised list. See if there's anything I haven't worked or got a card from. When I see somebody's going to North Korea, and it's supposed to be a bonus. No, that thing's as bogus as the day is long. Okay, take that one back. Anyway, so that'll be my activity. Take some medication, blood pressure. I'll probably need it while I'm screaming away at this guy to get a contact, all to get a signal report. Makes you wonder what it's all about. VE3 UUH.
Well, I think he's listening on a different frequency, you see.
Listening at 14.1, like he's talking away at 14.195 and listening from 14.200 to 210. And like I say, he's on a 15-minute break right now. But there was no shortage of people calling him, that's for sure. And I was shoving a fair bit of power, and I hadn't made it so far.
Okay, so you got to watch out for him coming back, which is easy to do because he's hopping around all over that area. Okay, well, we have VE3KLT Terry with us too. Well, we did anyway. VE3RUU, well, let's hope the round table won't disappear from the site you've chosen.
Good morning again there, Mike. And no, I don't think there's much chance of the round table disappearing. And the one that we partake in holds 8 people. That's how many people can sit around the round table. If we get a group larger than 8, then we have what we refer to as the overflow table, which is ordinary tables, they're square ones. But we haven't been doing too bad. On average, we've been having about 14 to 15 smiley hams showing up on Friday morning, so that's a good group, and a lot of fun, a lot of tall tales, and talks about every conceivable topic you can think of. Back to you.
Oh, so it's not a very big table then. Well, it's pretty big for a McDonald's or whatever it is. They're not efficient ways of seating people round table, and you could always get someone underneath the table who would eat out. There's usually a hole in the middle. You could feed out coffee from a pipe system somehow. Who knows? VE3KAE, I wonder if you're there.
Yes, Bill here, monitoring net. I'm going to head for a new coffee and a bit of oatmeal and get my day started, other than radio things here. And that will be it for me. 73 Doll. And back to you, Mike, VA3TJP, VE3KAE. Everyone have a great day.
VE2OCQ.
Thank you, Sean. Well, Alan, I'm glad to hear you're an oatmeal man. I usually have porridge every morning. It takes 3 minutes to cook it in the microwave. You mustn't let it boil over, so otherwise you'll spend half an hour cleaning the inside of the oven. But it's very much better than cooking it in a pot over a smoky fire, I must say. Let's take VE2OCQ. Sean.
Yeah, good morning. Some appointments early today, so I'll be... there's construction near my place. De La Savane eastbound just before Grébert, so that might be some trouble in there, but mostly from back to work. And I also tried listening on 147.585, and I get nothing. Do they broadcast that beacon at specific hours? Over?
Yeah, it's on the air all the time with short pauses. It's a very unique modulation to it. It's a bunch of tones and a CW. And CW, it's FM modulated, FM CWIB. And it's only 15 milliwatts, so... but I can hear it with a portable radio on the second floor here in Orleans, so it's amazing how it gets out. And it's a fair distance removed from me. So that's all I'll say. I know exactly where it is because I put it in place. The 3LC.
So there you are. 15 milliwatts, I'm certain I wouldn't be able to hear it from here anyway. VE3MPO, are you still there, Roger?
VE3MPO, well, good morning, all. I don't know. I need some more information about that thing there, Norm. Can I give you a call?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course you can. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but but you might be able to hear it from your location. Guys driving around and so on are reporting in, and so it's definitely on the air. At least it was the last time I checked, and it just should go continuously. VE3LC.
Okay, well, I guess, it's, the frequency, I guess, anyhow, I think you gave it a while. Anyhow, okay, well, listen, guys, I don't have anything else to add on. Today's Thursday, and I guess we'll go on. Got to go shopping today there, so we'll bring the portable. Maybe we'll hear it on the way down, so have a nice day, all. Back to net, VE3MPL.
Well, Nolan, I've just thought of a possibly ingenious way of finding out where it is. If you look at the interference pattern of two signals of exactly the same frequency, there's a linear maximum, and you can locate exactly the line on which the one of these transmitters is transmitting. Presumably you know where you are. Well, you simply move around the circle another 90 degrees and carry out another direction-finding thing. And lo and behold, the intersection of these linear maxima is where your thing is. Garbage can and all. VETLC.
Sure, are you?
Okay, Steve, so what?
Just a quick comment. It definitely can be heard here at my location. I just checked the frequency, and on the A2 it's coming in about quarter strength, and on my Kenwood it's coming in full scale. So it's definitely on the air, as Norm says. Back to you.
Well, it might be right on top of your building, who knows? So, you're going to give us any hints, Norman? VTLC?
Well, I'll definitely say it's not in a garbage can. I mean, I don't put things out in the garbage that are nice beacon transmitters. That would probably produce a real shielding effect, to say the least. No, it's not at ground level. I'll say that, because if it was, it wouldn't be getting out so well. But that's I can't give too many hints. It'll be on the air, as I say, till next Wednesday. Check on the internet and see some direction-finding techniques that you could apply that are simple. Even with a portable radio, a mobile, of course, the whole thing is, as you get closer, you're going to have to desensitize your radio. Otherwise, it's just full scale. So, of course, you could employ some direction-finding antennas, like beam antennas or something like that. Do some triangulation at this point and that point, or maybe from your home QTH and try to at least find a line of maximum signal strength, and do that from another location and see where they intersect, this sort of thing. So these are the techniques. Because we're doing this over a number of days, you should be able to do it, and maybe get some help from your friends, the VE3LC.
Yeah, okay. It sounds a bit like a testing of Murphy's Law. Well, I won't enlarge on that, but Murphy's Law, the piece of toast invariably falls on the floor when it slides off the plate with the jam side down or the butter side down. And this is true. If you ever tried this experimentally, you'll find that it's almost certain that the toast will be butter side down. Now, just think about that and see if you can see the reason for it, Norman. And once you've seen the reason for it, you would know that it is actually a universal rule in the whole of the universe. No matter what the acceleration due to gravity is, the toast will always land on the floor, butter side down. Do you agree? Over?
Oh, yeah, I agree with everything you say there, Mike. Anyway, I got to do some preparation. I have an appointment at CRC, the Communications Research Council, at lunchtime. This afternoon, early this afternoon, I think at 1 o'clock, we're with some others giving a little presentation on WHISPER, Weak Signal Reporting System. Weak Signal Propagation Reporter. That's what WHISPER stands for. So we're giving a little presentation to a group called the Friends of CRC. So that's what I have on the agenda today, and I really got to put things together for that. 7-3, good morning, VE3LC.
Well, go and browse in the refrigerator. You'll need to give your safe up, Norman. Any final check-in for the Rubber Boot Net? Nothing heard. Actually, I hope that somebody would disagree with me about the Murphy's Law, but I can show you a firm mathematical proof of this, and the reason I can is because I have a daughter who is innumerate. That is, anything to do with numbers, mathematics, arithmetic, algebra, she does not conceive, and she wanted to do a science project, from school, and she said, "Could you suggest something?" And I said, "Well, try Murphy's Law, see if you can prove Murphy's Law." And I gave her some ideas how you could do it, and she did it, and she actually won a prize because it was such an unusual scientific test of a simple principle. But I had to point out to her that in actual fact, it was later put as a genuine scientific article in a reputable science magazine. Anyway, enough of that. This is VE3MPC closing the Rubber Boot Net and saying good morning. See you on TGR Day tomorrow.